To plan or not to plan? That is the question. Hey everyone, it's Jo. I'm the Kosher Ninja, and we've been chatting about my adventure last year hiking on the Shvil Israel, or Israel National Trail. And lately we've made a few detours, but I'm excited to say that today we're back to the Shvil. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad you've stopped by, and while you're here, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell for notifications when I post new videos. But right now, let's talk about planning for the Shvil. So I was actually planning to do a video about planning for the Shvil now that I've actually got some experience. And then somebody asked me specifically to talk about how to plan. And I think the question was how much to plan for each day or just go lucky. So I've bumped up the priority and here we go. It may actually seem like kind of a strange question to ask right now as we all sit in splendid isolation, wondering if there's a future or a purpose to life. I don't know. But I do know that right now is a great time to start planning for the Shvil. First of all, many of us have extra time on our hands right now, so go ahead, daydream. Secondly, planning for the future gives us hope and something to look forward to. In fact, it's one of the best remedies for post-trail depression because suddenly you have something else to look forward to and you don't just have that big blank emptiness staring you in the face when you get back. So what goes for the Shvil also goes for COVID quarantine. Finally, when we all emerge from our bunkers in a few weeks from now, it's going to be a lot like reverse culture shock. And I know we're all itching to get back to our normal routines and our normal lives, but I think we're going to have to adjust. In fact, I know we're going to have to adjust what our concept of normal is. And so planning for something like the Shvil can take our minds off the fact that life isn't the normal that we're used to anymore. Okay, so planning right now makes sense, but should we even plan at all? Well, I don't think there's really any right answer. Just like any other trail, some people plan and some people don't. And some planners fail and some non-planners make it. It's impossible to lay down any hard and fast rule or to tell you what would be the right approach for you. However, before you despair or go making unrealistic demands and expectations of yourself, it's important to remember that no matter what, only about 40 to 50% of those people who start the Shvil actually make it. And that could be for any number of reasons. Poor planning certainly could be one of them. Injury could be one. Tragedy back home. Force majeure in the form of a coronavirus lockdown. Or even just getting bored of the desert. Hey, it happens, okay? The Red Book has a whole section called Planning is the Key to a Successful Hike. But the more fundamental question is, what is success? And the answer to that question is going to be different for everyone as well. So maybe we'll talk about that in another video, but for now, the important thing is that you need to know what success is for you. And as you're planning, you need to plan with that goal in mind. Sorry, it's raining. Yeah. Yesterday was cold, so I didn't do this yesterday. today is cold and raining. At the same time, while planning is important, if you think that planning is going to be the key to your success, you're going to put way too much pressure on your plan while there's so much other stuff going on. The Shvil, just like real life, will throw things at you that you just can't plan for or prepare. And if nothing else, Shabbats and holy days can throw a wrench in the best laid plans. And yes, you should be prepared for everything that you can be, but ultimately, you'll have to take what the Shvil gives you. This spring, a lot of people who have been planning and training for months and months have had to accept this reality when they had to get off the trail because of the coronavirus lockdown, which was something completely outside of their control. Well, a lot of traffic for a coronavirus lockdown, but anyways. So we should plan, and now's a great time to do it. But how and how much? Well, if you're already a long distance hiker, then you have an idea what it involves, and you already know that it's going to be different for everyone. Are you sensing a theme here? So at the very least, you should read the Red Book, get on the online forums, and know where to find the Trail Angels list and the low-cost accommodations list, even if you don't plan to use them. You never know. And if you're a newbie like I was, you should definitely study the guide, read all the books, watch all the YouTube videos, everything you can get your hands on about backpacking and long-distance hiking, and about the Shvil. And everybody should read those tour books about Israel and anything else you can get your hands on about Israel. Just learn about the country and the things that you might want to see while you're there. The Red Book does not mention every single site along the Shvil, so do your own research. And beyond that, it depends partly on if you're Israeli or a foreigner. If you're Israeli, you already have a built-in support system that you can rely on. And that's great if you need help with resupply or if you need to wait out rain days. But that local support can also lead you to underestimating the need to plan. So very few people under any circumstances can just pick up a backpack and start walking for 2 months. So don't forget to plan. For foreigners, it's a bit more of a challenge. The stakes are higher because we don't just have to take time off work. We also have to book flights. We have to make sure that we're going to be able to finish the Shvil within the time given on our tourist visa. We don't have the friends and family usually where we can stash our non-Shvil stuff while we're out on the Shvil. So it's very important to have a good plan A and also a plan B. In case you haven't noticed, I'm a planner. I love planning stuff like this, and I think it's half the fun. And I've already told you I'm already planning something else for the fall. Hopefully things will be less crazy then and I'll be able to do it, but I'll tell you more about that later. So of course, when I first started planning my hike, the first thing I did, and this was 2 years before my target dates, the first thing I did was I started this big old Excel spreadsheet. In fact, I actually had 2 of them going to track, well, everything, of course, right? So I was tracking my gear needs, the cost of my gear, the weight of my gear, my accommodation options, my water sources, what to see along the way each day. Oy vey. And I even had another spreadsheet to track the videos I was going to do. Yeah. So about halfway through my time, somewhere on the approach to Jerusalem, I just got so busy with work and, I don't know, producing videos and training Kung Fu, and maybe I just got a little bit planned out as well. And everything just died. But that was okay, because another thing that I've learned over the years is that while it's important to plan, you can also be over-prepared. It's important not to micromanage your hike so that you can enjoy and leave room for the unexpected. In fact, before the desert, I don't think I slept once in a place that I had planned. Okay, maybe once or twice, but you get the point. Allow yourself the flexibility to take advantage of unexpected opportunities that might come your way. So this is important both for your schedule, by which I mean don't cram and don't set yourself an unrealistic end date. Been there, done that. And also for the content. So, don't plan 5 things for, I don't know, day 10 that you have to see, and then you have to make it to this special festival on day 39. You might not be able to enjoy some opportunity that somebody will tell you about, and that could turn out to be so much better. But you just couldn't because you had to keep your schedule. Plus, you can be guaranteed that there will be changes to the Shvil, and if your plan is too rigid, you won't be able to adapt as easily. So whether you're Israeli or foreigner, I think it's really important to study the Red Book, and by that I mean both the preface and the guide, so that you know how to use the Red Book to figure out what your options are. So once you know that, then you can let the Shvil itself guide you. And we'll talk some more about that in the next video. So should you plan? Absolutely. How much? That's going to be different for everybody. But at least you should do your research so you know what your must-sees and must-dos are, and what your, oh, that would be great, but I can give it a pass in case a better opportunity comes along. And probably when you're actually on the Shvil, I think you're going to find that you're going to be making mini plans, changes and little mini plans as you go, depending on the distance from here to the next resupply point, or on suggestions and recommendations made by other hikers that you meet along the way. But whatever you do, experienced or rookie, planner or fly by the seat of your pantser, do not, and I repeat, do not go into the desert without researching, planning, and preparing your water supply. And no, don't take this as a challenge. We're going to talk some more about water on the Shvil in a different video, so you can check back in for that. So to get back to the original question, how much should you plan for each day, or should you go lucky? Well, I think your approach should be plan to get lucky. In other words, you should plan enough that you can take whatever the Shvil throws at you, and you will get lucky. So are you planning to hike the Shvil or another trail? Has this video helped you figure out how to plan? Do you still have other questions? Tell me about it in the comments down below. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the notification bell, share this video with your friends. And if you've hiked the Shvil Israel and have any comments that would be helpful for people who are trying to plan, leave those in the comments down below. I'd also love to hear from you. We'll talk some more about planning over the weeks to come, but for now, I'm just excited that we get to share our journeys like this, and I can't wait to see you again next time. Until then, thanks for watching, and shalom, eh?